joined here now by Markus Villig, who is the founder and CEO of Taxify. Markus, why don't you tell me a little bit about Taxify and what the topic of your recent presentation was?
Sure. So Taxify is the leading, fastest growing ride-sharing company in the world. So we're connecting passengers to more than 100,000 drivers around the world. And today I was talking about why transport is a very important industry, especially for Europe, because it's one of the traditional ones that's now getting digitized. And unless European tech startups quickly cover it, it will again be conquered by US companies.
Interesting. Okay, so why is the mobility space so exciting right now?
Mobility space is super fascinating in the next 10 years because it's going through so many shifts at once. So traditionally, European companies have been very strong, like Mercedes and Audi, but now all of this is going electric. So that's one of the first shifts. Secondly, there's on-demand, so people are not there more buying cars, but ordering them from platforms like us. And thirdly, of course, autonomous cars, which are completely shifting the whole industry around. So these three big trends happening at once will just shift the industry in the next decade.
Okay, and how is this sort of sharing economy, people are not buying anymore, they're sharing, going to affect the way we all travel going forward? And how could this affect the aviation industry, the air travel sector?
Sure, I think it's a huge shift. Looking at all the urban rides today, then only 2-3% are shared trips, and most of the rides are done by owned cars. So what we think is that this will flip around in the next 10 to 20 years. So this will completely change the industry, and that this applies to housing like Airbnb, for example, and most probably in some forms to aviation as well. So I think every single industry needs to think about it right now.
Are you already in talks with any airlines, airports, sort of?
Sure, because oftentimes traveling to a city and then using on-demand transport go hand in hand. We're already doing different deals with airports and different airlines as well, so that we can do bundle deals, so you get the free ride with us together with the ticket.
Mm-hmm. And what would be your argument to an airline who's not sure whether to partner with a service like Taxify or an Uber, for example?
At the end of the day, I think it comes down to what has the best coverage and availability of cars in that particular city. Because there's so many cities around the world, and each platform is strong in one or two of those. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today, Markus.
Thank you.